Hey guys, so I want to make a quick video talking about the Crimp terminals. This is your standard basic type, cheap type. You can get them in a big set like this. It's got a big variety of them in there. And these things are really good, and they can be really bad depending on how you put them on. So 90% of the time, you're going to be doing it just like this. Just crimping it like that, crimping it right on there. Now, 80% of the time, this is going to work flawless. No problems at all. Does it look good? No, it really don't. Now, you're probably saying, well, you just used the non-insulated side of the pliers. I did. Let's use the insulated side. You never really get a full crimp. It was end up having to do it like twice. And guess what? It don't look much different, other than the plastic not being tore, but it's still smashed. So yeah, either way will work just fine. I always like to pull on them a little bit just to make sure that they grab. If you're just doing a quick repair, that's probably all you need to do. But what I consider the proper way, and I learned this from another YouTuber. His channel name is Growler1. If you look him up, he does a lot of automotive builds and off-road builds and that kind of stuff. And he shared his method, and that's what I try to do anytime I build something or really want something to last and not have something this simple fail. You got to get the plastic part off, the red part in this case. And these either come off really easy or they're going to be a pain. But just get a pair of pliers and hold the actual terminal part. Get a pair of needle nose and twist it, and it'll just pull right off. Now you can also buy the terminals like this. It'll be the non-insulated type. So now you're left with just all the metal part. So you know, basically the same principle. Go ahead and get your wire in there. And so this is actually cut just a little bit too long, but it'll work. So, get this set up in the crimpers. Crimp it pretty good. Does not have to be quite crimped down as much as you normally would, because now we're going to solder it. Just kind of putting it on these pliers to kind of hold it. Now it does take way longer to do it this way, but I think it's worth it, especially on something you really care about. I'm just using a propane torch. You don't necessarily have to use a propane torch like this big. You're going to get this heated up pretty good. You don't want to melt the solder and drop it on there. You actually want to heat it until the solder will melt on contact. It's kind of like sweating copper pipes in. It will kind of seep in as much as it needs to. You really can't use too much. Make it look pretty good like that, and should be good. It will kind of burn the insulation on the wire, but it's not critical because we've got one more little step to do. Let that cool off a minute. Let's look at it and see how well it flowed in. It appears to have soaked it up pretty good. The next thing you want to do is get your piece of heat shrink tubing that'll fit over the wire and that part of the terminal. You can cut it shorter if you want. Let's cut it down a little bit, make it look just a little bit more presentable. Use these other cutters. And my Knife Pex pliers, which are probably about the best brand of pliers you can find, but you pay for it. It's the only pair of Knife Pex products I got. Not because I don't want it, but I can't afford a whole set. So get your heat shrink tubing, get it to go over it, just like this. And again, you don't necessarily have to use a big torch like this. Just heat it enough to get it to melt down like that. So now you got a nice clean terminal in. It's going to be way better than just doing it like this. Now I'm going to show you one other little thing and we'll end the video. Let me do this, get this prepped off camera, and we'll look at it. Alright, so on the other end of this, I went ahead and skipped a couple steps. Just went ahead and stripped, crimped, and soldered this quick disconnect on. Now this only applies to a quick disconnect like this. This is a 1/4 inch one. So if you do it like the other side, you can do it like this and it'll be sticking out. Or if you want a semi-insulated one, bring it up till it's almost flush with the end, then heat shrink it. Now you gotta be careful when you do this, because if you shrink it too much, it'll kind of burn on the gap part of it. So now you have basically an insulated terminal ready for whatever voltage the heat shrink tubing is. It's just a cleaner look and help keep water out of it and all that good stuff. And yes, you're probably thinking you can just get this type that's got the heat shrink ends already on it, and this is a step that's way better than the regular type. However, whenever you crimp it on, you're still messing up that one part. It just may not look right or seal right. But with that being said, I think this is the best way to use a butt splice. Even though you're not going to be able to actually solder it, you're going to be able to melt that down. It'll be a little bit more secure connection. Alright guys, so there's your quick little video on making these crimp terminals work a little bit better and hold up and look a little bit more presentable. It'll give you a lot more of a factory look than just doing this. Now if you're in a hurry and just trying to fix something, by all means just crimp it on. You can always redo it later on if you feel it's necessary. If this has always worked for you, continue to do it. But if you want a little cleaner look, something a little bit more reliable, this is the only way to do it. So, alright guys, thanks for watching. Just thought that might make a good little quick video to throw up. So questions, comments, suggestions for similar things like this, feel free to leave a comment below and I'll see what I can do. So thanks for watching guys, catch you later.